the ASM artist. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's the ASM artist here. I think we're just gonna do a classic rambling and hand sounds video. I tried something new last video, doing a no talking lo-fi thing, which you guys like the lo-fi pretty much just as much, but the no talking part, it's not that you guys hated it, but there's a lot of people being like, I missed the rambling. It was like one video. Okay, but if that's my thing and that's what you guys like, then who am I to deprive you of that? You're coming here and you're giving me your devoted time. That was the worst sentence I've ever put together. You're giving me your undivided attention, and that's more valuable than anything. So if you're gonna come here and you're gonna watch me, I'm gonna make it a good watching experience, and it's gonna be great. We are on the lens that I've made most of the videos on this channel with, which, by the way, if you haven't realized, there's like 150 videos on this channel, and I can't believe, like, the channel's a little over a year old now, but 150 videos, like, I am a madman. And I had a lot more time whenever the lockdown was happening. I have a lot less time now, which I'm sorry about, like, not being able to come up with as many creative ideas for videos, but it's usually pretty good. I'm down to like once a week posting though, and I've seen the algorithm take note of that. It definitely rewards you for posting like 2 or 3 times a week, but it just is not in the cards. Anyway, the lens that I'm using to film this is the 23 f2. It's a little bit tighter in than the lens I've been using recently, which is this, the 16mm f1.4, the magic lens, dude. This thing is much bigger. Looking at the back, for the light lets in. It's a 1.4, so it lets in a good amount of light, but it's a wide angle. It's wider than this, which is why I use it with the other background with the 2 doors, which just right over there. The room is not as big as it seems. But I love this lens, and the coolest thing is it has a focus clutch for manual focusing, so you just pop that down and you can see your focus distances there, and it has hard stops on either side where this other lens doesn't. But the thing that this 23 f2 has that this doesn't, first of all, it's silver, which it matches my silver camera, so it looks sexy. I feel like it's cursed to hear. I never talk like that on here. I don't know if that's naughty. It's cursed to hear me say sexy. Anyway, what a stupid thought. Anyway, yeah, that's much smaller and lighter. It has an f2 instead of f1.4, so it lets in less light, but it has a lot of advantages. But I prefer this wider focal length. And to be honest, I can feel around for the other one there. Okay, these 2 lenses kind of sit around the lens I'm using right now. So this is a 35 and a 16, and I'm on a 23 right now. And if I'm being honest, I prefer one of these 2 lenses. But the 23 kind of sits in the middle. It's a nice, like, if you just want to bring one lens and do it all with that, it's a good focal length for that. But if I had the choice and I could bring multiple lenses, I'm always going to do both of these. Also, I have this camera now, which I really love. Taking this thing around, I gotta show you this image I got, and if you're not following my photography Instagram, just pop it up right here. I was at a house show for a Halloween party, and this image just came together, and it was so good. And the guy in the background with the cowboy hat, it just gets me every time. But this little camera right here, it has a built-in lens, so this doesn't come off like these lenses. Is built into this camera, which is why it's so small. It actually goes into the body a little bit because it's designed differently. This is the same thing as the lens I'm using right now. This is a 23 f2. So if I have this camera with a dedicated lens like that, oof, it didn't fall as hard as it sounded. And I have these lenses that I kind of prefer around that focal length. I'm honestly thinking of selling this lens I'm using right now just because my kid has grown and my tastes have changed. But this was a very good first lens. So for anybody who wants to buy a first prime and you got into Fuji on my recommendation, and you just want like a general shoot everything lens that's not a zoom and it's one focal length, this would be the one for you. But now that I have like experimented with all these different focal lengths, I've moved on. Anyway, just in case you were wondering, and by the way, I know a lot of you guys like the camera talk. So if you're not, check out my Matt Jacobs channel, which I also shoot with this background, and I've done the other background too. But I do actual reviews. Like I'm going to do a review on this lens. I've done a review on the lens I'm shooting on right now. I want to do one on this. And I'm being sent lenses like this, 50mm 0.95, which I've never shot a video on this channel with. But look at that. It's crazy. So that just like obviously just lets in a ton of light, but because of that, the depth of field would be so shallow, it'd be like really, really hard to record myself. That's why I haven't done it. But I'll try it someday, maybe. Anyway, check out that channel if you haven't already. If you like hear me talk technical and you want to see my photos and sometimes videos. But the whole reason I brought up the other channel is because this ramble is all going somewhere, and then I'll do a couple triggers. It's usually how it is. I talk for too long, and then I'm like, oh shit, I should do some ASMR. First of all, listen to this. Another reason to love the 16 1.4. Honestly, the one I'm shooting on right now, the 23 f2, has a really good aperture ring as well, but whatever. That's not the most important part. But look at how like the lens shelf is crazy now, because I'm starting to get into vintage lenses. If I'm going to show you, I showed the other photo of the musician at the house party. Let me show you this. These are some vintage lens pictures I took, and the lens I used for this was actually my grandma's old film camera lens. Another cool thing about Fuji and just mirrorless cameras in general is you can adapt any lens pretty much from any old, like any vintage lens from any photo system with an adapter that just sets it the correct flange distance from the sensor. So yeah, I mean, those pictures turned out really, really sharp. So that old vintage lens, like I tested all of her lenses, that one was the best that I took those pictures with. I really, really enjoyed it. And actually at Goodwill the other day, I found a lens for $20, and it was a really, really nice lens. Let me show you. It's heavy as crap. Look at this thing. That's legit. I guess I couldn't find the exact brand. Like, there are a lot of vintage lenses that have just fallen into obscurity. I believe this was a lens made by J.C. Penney's, which is just like, what? It's a macro lens. This is a built-in lens hood to block flares. It has a nice, robust, thick-ass protection filter on the front, so the front element is in pristine condition. Again, this is a $20 lens. I haven't tested it. It might be crap, but it feels super nice. Focus ring is actually a zoom, which I have never actually seen in person, a vintage zoom lens. I assumed, all right, they are mostly prime lenses because zooms are a lot more technically difficult to manufacture. But the aperture ring on this is not nearly as nice. It also doesn't have clicks in between the stops. Anyway, just wanted to show off, like $20, and like you can get a sense of the heft of this thing. Just that's called the heft test. I do that all the time on my other channel. When I'm technically reviewing these lenses, I go like this. No, I don't really. It's just ridiculous. I'm just so ridiculous. So usually whenever I bring out the trigger bag, I'm not just doing like hand sounds or shirt plucking or something, I bring out a select few triggers, but this has not come out for a while. So, gosh, the eye detect autofocus on this camera is like too good. If I hold something up, it keeps focusing on me until I cover up my face and eyes, and then it's like, oh, okay, I get it. Anyway, if I'm being honest, comparing this lens to the lens that I've been shooting with, which is the 16 here, And this one has a little bit more compression, which is just the other one just looks more like a wide angle lens where I look like skinnier and smaller, which I like in a way, but this is more flattering in another kind of way. So maybe I just gotta keep all my lenses and buy more. Mr. Mike needs his hair brushed. That hasn't happened in quite a while. I don't know why I set it down. As I've mentioned many times before on this channel, and those of you who watch regularly probably know by now, I mainly watch Sarah Manganese ASMR. Recently, I have so little time. Sometimes I'll watch ASMR if I'm just doing some work, but mainly it's I put it on right before bed, and I listen for a little bit, and then I just turn it off, take my headphones off, and go to sleep. I don't want to fall asleep with headphones in my ears. And I don't have the special ASMR headphones. But one of my recent really favorite videos of hers is the one where it's ASMR, crazy fan locks you in her basement or whatever. But there's just it's kind of crazy. But there's just the way she does it is so chaotic and so good. But there's this one trigger where she has a latex glove and she's just cough into my hand, here, just okay, go ahead, cough. You don't want to cough into my hand? I can't do her accent at all. I love latex. It sounds so good. Oh, I hate when it does this. There we go. It knew. It thinks that these are eyeballs. It's wait, is those him? That? Wait, that's a face? No, wait. It's because my chin, when I start slouching, I gotta sit up. I gotta have good posture. I gotta sit up and have good posture, or it's not gonna recognize my face. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the ramble at the beginning of this video. I I appreciate coming back to the Blue Yeti here. I keep trying all these other audio things, hoping that they'll be better. And some of them maybe are, but like the Blue Yeti, I think it has higher sound quality than this. Maybe not, but it's such a pain in the ass to set up. And this is so easy. Like, it's one thing. Like this, just put it on a tripod. The microphone's built into it. I just pop an SD card into this. There's no extra cables except for my headphones just to make sure I sound good. And God, if you're going to start an ASMR channel, I think the best investment you could possibly make is a Zoom H6. It's so good. And I use it all the time for professional audio. It sounds great. No one's ever going to ask for higher quality audio, pretty much, unless you're specifically doing like music recording or sound recording. But in terms of just like video production, you just want like good quality audio. I think about this for like $350, probably even cheaper now because they have new stuff coming out all the time. But even if you're a sound engineer, you could use this as an audio interface. So anyway, just technical. Can't turn off the technical part of my brain. So thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below. I always love hearing from you guys. Also, check out the community tab because I just shared last night from when I'm recording this, which who knows how long it'll take me to get around to actually editing this video. But I shared with you guys on my community tab a commercial I actually made for a local clothing company, which I was super, super proud of. So if you want to see an example of like my actual professional video production outside of YouTube that I'm actually making for clients, because I talk about it all the time, so just so you know I'm not a fraud. So check that out if you want, or don't if you don't. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.